Now we got another sheriff. Last speaker of the evening, constitutional sheriff, Dar Leaf from Berry County, Michigan. He just got reelected to his 5th term, even though the state was trying to arrest him, trying to indict him, trying to get in his way because he was investigating election fraud for the last 3 years. Yeah, so undaunted, Sheriff Leaf kept the faith, kept his courage, and Sheriff Lamb, he kept his honor. I present to you Sheriff Dar Leaf. Do you want that in there? Here or here?
Oh, all right. Berry County, Michigan. Everybody hold up their hands. Map of Michigan, right about there. Okay? Sorry, all you Yoopers out there. I had a microphone in my hand, so I couldn't do the UP. So, I actually thought it was in Michigan here when we first started this. That national anthem, she gave me goosebumps, and I thought it was a little cold in here, and oh no, it's her singing. So, what a powerful national anthem. I think it's number 3 on my list. Whitney Houston, her, and Madison Rising. You guys ever hear that one? Madison Rising? Yeah, very powerful one. And what got me going here with the Constitutional Sheriff and Peace Officers Association was 2 phone calls. The first phone call, they called me up, and I don't even remember who it was. And he said, hey, we want you to come out to Vegas and attend this conference. And it's through the Constitutional Sheriff and Peace Officers Association. I have no idea who you guys are. Well, we'd like you to come on out and hear what we have to say. I'm sitting there going, all right, I've already stirred up a little bit of the nest in Lansing a little bit. Who are you really? And so I had no idea who they were. And so I said, let me think about it. So about 2 weeks later, I get another phone call. And because I really didn't want to go out and shuck out the money of my people in my county to go to a conference. I had no idea what they wanted to talk about. All the way out in Vegas. I'd never been to Vegas. It wasn't on my bucket list. So the next phone call I got is, hey, we went out and solicited a bunch of people in your county. We got enough money to pay for your airfare there and back, all your food, and your hotel. So I walked into my undersheriff and I said, I think they really want me to go. So, yeah, I went, and I don't even remember what year it was. At 2010? I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But, oh, by the way, Mac, this is my 6th term coming up. Yeah, number 6. We get 4-year terms. So this is my 20th year as sheriff, and unless I lose to a write-in, I'll get 4 more years here. So reality is I went to that sheriff's conference out there in Vegas, and this chin hasn't come off the floor ever since. I go on out there, and it's like, our federal government's doing what? IRS is what? I tell you what, I didn't know what to do. I went back to my office and says, where do we start? And I got to quote my undersheriff. He says, one bastard at a time. You got to understand, my first undersheriff, he was pretty hardcore. It's this way or the highway. So ever since then, I've tried to go to the conferences, because every time I go, I learn something. I meet some incredible people. And it's also led me to be more confident as a sheriff. Not only do they teach you about the Constitution, they teach you, it's a supreme law of the land, because I get that all the time. Sheriff, it's not your job to interpret the Constitution. That's what a judge's job is. And I'm sitting there going, well, not according to my teachings. It's your job to interpret it. It's my job to enforce it. Amen. So how do you enforce it? Well, just like any other law, you have to go out, read it, you have to study it. That's where the CSPOA comes in. Bringing in Chris Ann Halls. Yeah, very, very powerful speaker. And where's the Florida sheriff who was up here first? Where's he at? I've got a PowerPoint for you. Make sure you give me your email address. I'm going to send it to you. It's all in the office of the sheriff. I go all the way back to King Alfred the Great. And it's really neat because you look at how Great Britain was divided up back then in the shires, and you go look how the United States is divided up between the states and the counties, or what the shires are. But they brought it all over here to this country over here. It's not difficult. So anyways, knowing that, I started scratching my head, saying, all right, how do I get this? I've got law enforcement officers who've been on this conveyor belt of law enforcement training. In other words, you're the instructor and say, all right, I'm teaching you how to go out and handle a traffic accident. I'm teaching you how to handle a domestic. I'm teaching you how to handle this. I'm teaching you how to handle this. Not once did they teach us how to handle a government that's out of control. And where are the ones who are supposed to be enforcing that? Oh, file a lawsuit. They're committing crimes. Why are we not holding them accountable? My first term, I won the election. I hadn't even taken office yet, and I was getting anonymous phone calls from people at our 911 center reporting to me about the corruption that was going on out there. You gotta understand, I went from deputy all the way up to sheriff. I didn't pass go, I didn't pay my $200 type thing. I was never a sergeant, never a lieutenant, never an undersheriff. I went from deputy all the way up. So the people they were telling on were the people I used to look up to. That's what I walked into. That was not a fun first 2 years of my career as sheriff, but we did the right thing, and we won those battles. There's people that should have gone to jail over it. We even had a special prosecutor handle it, and I'm not kidding, we handled him a report that was that thick of the stuff that was going on in there. And he said, Sheriff, did you get it to stop? I said, well, yeah, we got it to stop. He said, then let it go. I said, I got 72 inmates in my jail. I want that same courtesy. I lost a lot of respect. That prosecutor was a judge. Can't make this stuff up. So as I start learning from the CSPOA, and all of a sudden people started labeling me as this constitutional sheriff. In reality, in Michigan, Article 7, Section 4, says every organized county for 4-year terms shall elect a sheriff. We're already constitutional. It's not that difficult. You got to read the thing. You got to study it. You have to know what all these different governments are supposed to be doing. I look at it because Michigan's a big union state. I used to work for a union shop when I got out of high school. And if you're a press operator and that light bulb goes out above your head, as a press operator, do you change that light bulb? You ask the unions, they go, oh no, you don't touch that light bulb. Well, why not? It's an electrician's job. Isn't that how government's divided though? 3 branches of government, each one has a job. That one big paragraph that Sheriff Mack showed up on the screen here is one of my favorite. I've got it sitting on my desk when that pandemic hit, COVID. I quoted that a lot. Tonight people go, oh, Sheriff, they had to do with gun control. I go, no, it had to do with overreaching government. The Constitution protects us from our own best intentions. That's a fact. It divides power among sovereigns and 3 branches. Sovereigns and 3 branches of government. What does Justice Scalia mean by those sovereigns? States. Is the office of sheriff sovereign? Well, yes. I run the county any way I see fit. The people don't like it, what do? They'll elect somebody else in there. That's how it works. It's not that difficult, especially in a union state like Michigan, and I'm having a hard time. It's like pulling teeth getting people to accept that. So we had other problems coming on up, and obviously the election stuff is part of it. And one of the things I do too is I've teamed up with an attorney by the name of Brent Allen Winters, and Brent Allen Winters is a common law attorney. He lives in Illinois, and what we do is we do online classes trying to teach the masses out there about the office of the sheriff. That was our first class. Then we did the one on the common law grand juries. We even did common law estate planning stuff. What was it called? Anyways, I'll move on from that. And we did the Magna Carta. We're breaking down the Magna Carta because it's all written in the common law. We're trying to make it so you can understand it. And what he would do is he would explain it. He'd break down the language because he's a savant when it comes down to all these languages and where they originate and all this stuff. And I'd tell him what it looks like today. And a lot what they did in that Magna Carta, we still do today. Writs. Yeah. Yeah, juries, yes. And the office of the sheriff is mentioned 9 times in that Magna Carta. That's how important that office is. Thomas Jefferson said the office of the sheriff was the most important in county government. Well, who's Thomas Jefferson? Not only one of our founders. We also teach on posses. You sheriffs, you don't have a posse, I highly recommend you get one. Those guys will work for you. They volunteer hours for me all the time. They do everything from school security, making sure that nobody's going to go out and mess around with our football games, wrestling tournaments. And Berry County, we usually have 2 or 3 schools there that rank in the top 10 in the state for wrestling. So it's a big thing in my county, wrestling. It's the middle of winter and they're wrestling. You open up the doors because there's so many people in here in a body heat. You got to cool off the gym on the inside. So what I did, we've had a posse since 1955, by the way. And very, very well-known posse. And sometimes you get a little cocky talking about them because we're state champs and a lot of stuff when we challenge other posses. So anyways, what I did was we started looking into like stuff like the election investigation. And I don't see where... Mark, where are you at? Oh, no, the other Mark. Fincham, I'm sorry. Oh, there you are. We need to hook up because I have, I don't know how many terabytes of information you're going to want. I need your information. My goal right now is to get rid of the computerized voting in our county. We started these investigations probably 3.5 years ago, but you gotta understand it's been on and off because of staffing. People just don't want to do the law enforcement jobs anymore. Keep getting sand kicked in their face. So you run out of staff, so what do? You're the sheriff? You teach this stuff. So I started my own little posse. I call it my election investigation posse. That's all. I've got 2 cybersecurity experts. I got a clerk right now working on this stuff. I've got over 60,000 pages of emails between a certain company and amongst the employees and that same company and foreign countries that don't like us. This is ridiculous. It's insane. When my attorney first contacted me about this, I started reading these things. I said, where did these come from? There's a magistrate judge in Washington, D.C. that put a gag order on him because there's $1 billion lawsuit on one of our sponsors here, which is Patrick Byrne. $1 billion lawsuit on him. And they put a gag order on this stuff. I said, there's stuff on here that should be freeing the J6ers. They took my attorney off that case because she released those to me. Of course, she's fighting them because as an attorney, part of your oath is, if you know something's criminal, you have to report it. There's all kinds of crimes in there. It's ridiculous. We got stuff in there from between, whoops, I almost said the name of the company. Sorry about that. This company and Pakistani military intelligence. I'm supposed to get a pretty good old bombshell tomorrow from one of my cyber security experts. And there's 4 people arrested down in here from another software company that started out in Venezuela. And they got indicted by a grand jury. Yes, grand juries, folks, that's the answer. Prosecutors not doing their job. Law enforcement chickening out. Grand jury indicted 4 from this one company. Oh, this other company has got family members working for them. They can't make this stuff up. And we only got 60,000 pages, and there's over 1 million of them out there. I want the rest. So keep those people who are working on all that stuff, your thoughts and prayers, because when you talk about going after you, yeah, they tried indicting me at least twice. They went after 2 of my detectives and literally gave them subpoenas and took them all the way over to the other side of the state of Michigan, about 2.5-hour drive. When they, this is no kidding here too, when our governor had that plot against her, by the way, we'll trade you governors. Anybody? All right. Anyways, 2 guys in my county got arrested for that. One of the deals is that, hey, this will all go away if you give us your sheriff. It's like, wow. Bring it, I guess. I got a spine. I'm still standing up. My best middle finger I gave them, and I told this to my doctor the other day. My blood pressure is 116/72 unmedicated. Amen. My time about up? All right. In closing, we need you out there. We need you getting involved, just like General Flynn. I've met General Flynn. What a wonderful man. We need you out there. I hate to say it, you have to reach in your pocketbooks too. This stuff costs money. I had money coming in from Washington, D.C. up through Grand Rapids. My county is only about 63,000 people, and one of my opponents had ads on Newsmax that was paid for by these other companies that wanted me out of office. That's what's going on. I'm labeled as a constitutional sheriff and peace officer, right? Proudly. I'll take that tag any day. You all have a good night.
Some of these speakers made it worthwhile to be here, didn't they? Man of honor. Sheriff Lamb, Sheriff Leaf. Where'd Sheriff Songer go? Oh, there he is, hiding behind his wife. Smart. Thank you. Get to know Sheriff Bob Songer from Klickitat County, Washington. I think he gets the Medal of Honor for coming the farthest. Yeah. Thank you, Sheriff. Folks, it's been a great evening, and thank you so much for being here. You made it happen, and please make sure you listen to Sheriff Leaf. It takes money to make this thing happen, and we still haven't paid all our bills. So thank you for anything you can do there. And every one of you, are you listening? Do all of you take orders? I know, except for Dawn. I know, she doesn't take orders. But good, I'll have a ham and cheese on rye. Okay, no, folks, you have to leave this room, go over to the other one, and we can take pictures and other stuff there, and sign books and whatever you want. But this room has to be vacated because they have some technical things they have to do to make sure that we're ready for Sheriff Hamilton, who's coming in over live feed, because he wasn't able to get here, but he wants to be here, so he's gonna come in and be with his pastor, and you won't want to miss that. But so right now, thank you so much for a wonderful evening, but now everybody walk that way. Don't stop and talk. Don't stop and pat each other on the back. Go to the other room, and then you can do all of that over there. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Yo, we're pretty close to time, huh?